Welcome, welcome, learners. And a super big hello to our expert guide.
Hey there, glad to be here.
Today, we're diving deep, like really deep, into a world made of blocks.
Ready to unearth some fascinating insights. Should be fun.
You know it. Because today, we're not just skimming the surface. We're going on an adventure into the very core of Minecraft.
Ah, Minecraft.
You might have heard of it. You know that little game where you punch trees and build stuff?
Slight chuckle. Just a little game.
Right. Well, it's actually a whole lot more than that. We've got a stack of information to prove it. Think of it like this. Have you ever built something amazing with Legos and just felt that, spark of creativity?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And what's really fascinating here is how that simple idea, just blocks, has completely exploded into this global phenomenon.
Exactly. So our mission today, we want to unpack what makes Minecraft tick. What is it exactly?
Good question.
Why are millions hooked? What are some of the hurdles players face?
Right, the tricky bits.
And ultimately, where might you find your own fun in this blocky universe? We've looked at everything from game reviews, community chatter, official details, all of it.
Lots of digging.
So buckle up, because here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay, let's unpack this then. So at its core, Minecraft is what's known as a sandbox game.
Sandbox, like a playground.
Exactly like that.
Yeah.
Imagine a real sandbox. You've got this open space, materials, and you can pretty much do whatever comes to mind. There aren't really any set goals pushed on you.
Huh.
It's like a digital playground. It offers that same freedom you might find in, say, Animal Crossing, but maybe without your neighbors constantly asking for favors.
Chuckles. Right. Less demanding neighbors.
Yeah, and this lack of prescribed objectives is absolutely fundamental to the whole Minecraft experience. It just allows for this truly self-directed creativity. You're basically the architect of your own world.
And these worlds, they aren't pre-designed, are they? I heard they're procedurally generated. That sounds fancy.
It does sound fancy, but it's a cool concept. It basically boils down to this. Every time you start a new game, the computer essentially cooks up a brand new world just for you.
Wow, really?
Yeah, the landscapes, the different environments, they call them biomes even, where you find stuff like resources. It's all unique each time.
So it's like having infinite Lego sets.
That's a great way to put it. It really contributes to that incredible replayability, that feeling that there's always something new just around the corner.
Okay, but while it's unique, it's not just total chaos, is it? There must be some patterns.
That's a great point. No, it's not pure chaos. There are definitely recognizable patterns, like you'll often find richer minerals up in the mountains. And you can usually count on finding clay near water. Someone described it as random level design ideally implemented.
Ah, okay. So random, but with rules.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Enough novelty to keep it exciting, but enough familiarity so you can actually learn how the world works.
Right, so you've got these unique worlds.
Yeah.
And everything's made of blocks. Seriously.
Seriously, everything. And this is key. You can break these blocks down, collect them, and then rearrange them however you want.
So that's the core mechanic.
It's the bedrock, pun intended, of everything you do. Mining, building, even fighting the blocky creatures. It's always compared to Legos. And for good reason. The potential for creation is just staggering. The whole world is like these little dice-shaped blocks.
Okay, so you're dropped into this unique, blocky universe. What's a typical experience? Like, what's the core gameplay loop?
Well, it's really a cycle of several things that connect. First off, there's exploration.
Right, checking things out.
Yeah, you can roam through all sorts of places, jungles, deserts, oceans, each with different plants and animals. And as you explore, you might stumble upon hidden structures like old temples, villages, maybe even underwater ruins.
Ooh, secrets.
Exactly. It's that thrill of the unknown, that really pulls you in.
Sounds like a real digital expedition. What comes after exploring?
Well, then comes mining and resource gathering. It starts super basic, literally punching trees to get wood.
Punching trees, okay.
Please. Yeah, but you quickly move on to mining for ores like stone, iron, gold, and the big one, diamond.
Diamonds. Everyone wants diamonds.
Pretty much. Mining is a huge part of it, and like we said, you learn where certain resources tend to show up.
So you've gathered all this stuff. What's next?
That's where crafting comes in. You take those raw resources you gathered and combine them to make new things. Essential tools like pickaxes, shovels, weapons for protection,
Right.
building materials like planks and bricks, and even more complex stuff like potions. Some ingredients you even need to get from another dimension, the Nether.
Whoa, another dimension. Okay, crafting sounds key.
Oh, it is. It's like having a giant recipe book.
And then the thing most people probably think of, building.
Absolutely. With all the blocks you've gathered, maybe crafted into different forms, you can build pretty much anything you can imagine.
What?
Simple shelters to survive the night, or incredibly intricate castles, sprawling cities. Some players even reshape the entire landscape. They call it terraforming.
Wow. Like digital landscape architects.
Exactly. The possibilities feel endless.
But you mentioned nighttime nasties earlier.
Yeah.
And survival.
You nailed it, survival. Especially in survival mode, you have to watch your health, manage your hunger.
Okay, so it's not all peaceful building.
Definitely not. When it gets dark or you go deep into caves, hostile creatures appear. We call them mobs.
Mobs, got it.
And yeah, some are definitely not friendly. You need to defend yourself. That early game in survival is a real race against the clock.
How so?
You got to punch a tree, get wood, make a craft table, make basic tools, find stone and coal, build a furnace, get food, and build some kind of shelter before night hits and the monsters come out. It's all about starting from nothing and trying to thrive.
That sounds intense.
It can be. Some people break it down into 4 things: adventure, mining, animal husbandry. Yeah,
Wow.
You can have blocky pets and farm animals.
Blocky pets.
Nice.
And construction. That's sort of the core loop.
Okay, blocky pets sound fun. But let's stick to the main points for now. We've got the basics down. Now, what about those different ways to play you mentioned? The game modes.
Excellent idea. Yeah, one of the really smart things about Minecraft is how adaptable it is. It's not just about easy or hard difficulty. The game modes actually change how you play and what you're trying to do.
How so?
Well, this freedom, this player choice, is really central to why it's lasted so long.
Okay, so let's start with the one you mentioned before, survival mode. What's the deal there?
Right, survival mode. That's the classic Minecraft experience for many. Like we said, you gather resources, chop trees, dig ore,
Grind.
chuckles, a bit, yeah. Then you use those to craft items, build shelters, and you have to manage your health and hunger. And importantly, fight off those hostile mobs at night or in caves.
So starting from scratch and trying not to die, basically.
Pretty much. It's about surviving, but also building up and flourishing in that world. Okay, sounds like the standard challenge.
Yeah.
What about the opposite? I think there's a creative mode.
Ah, yes. Creative mode. This is where your inner architect goes wild.
How's that?
You have unlimited resources. Everything. Instantly. Just open your inventory and grab whatever block you want.
No mining required.
None at all. Plus, you're invulnerable, can't take damage, and you can fly.
You can fly. Okay, that changes things.
Big time. It's pure building and creation. No survival worries, no enemies bothering you. Perfect for people who just want to build amazing things without limits.
That sounds like pure stress-free fun for builders. Now, what about adventure mode? Sounds interesting.
Adventure mode is clever. It's designed for playing custom maps made by other players.
Custom maps?
Yeah, stories, puzzles, adventures people have built. The key thing is, you usually can't just break or place blocks anywhere. You often need specific tools the map creator wants you to use. So it shifts the focus from freeform building to exploration, puzzle solving, following the map's story or rules.
So it's about experiencing someone else's creation.
Exactly. It's about curated experiences. And some of these maps are so detailed, they can actually be pretty good learning tools, too.
Huh. Okay, that's neat. Now, hardcore mode. That sounds serious.
Intense is the word. It's basically survival mode, but the difficulty is locked on hard. Monsters are tougher.
Okay.
But the real kicker, permanent death. If you die in hardcore, that's it for that world. No respawning.
Wait, seriously? Game over, world deleted.
Not deleted, but you can only spectate. You become like a ghost. You can watch but not interact. It's high stakes, high reward for experienced players who want that ultimate challenge. No second chances.
Wow. Okay, yeah, that's hardcore. So after that kind of ending, what's spectator mode for?
Spectator mode is like being that ghost. You can fly around even through walls and floor.
Walls.
Yep, but you can't interact with anything. Can't break blocks, can't fight mobs, nothing. It's purely for observing.
So after dying in hardcore.
Or just to check out cool builds on multiplayer servers, or for map makers to get a bird's eye view. You're just an ethereal bystander phasing through stuff. The hardcore community uses it a lot.
So many different flavors of the same game. It's pretty amazing how flexible it is.
It really is. You could almost lay it out like a table, you know? Yeah. Mode, goals, resources, flight, mobs, respawn. It just shows Minecraft isn't one single thing. It's a platform for different play styles.
Definitely seems like there's a mode for almost anyone. Okay, so we know what it is, the different ways to play. But why? Why are millions so obsessed? What's the magic sauce? What are those pillars of popularity?
Okay, yeah, the core appeal. It's not just one thing, it's a mix. But if I had to pick number one, it's got to be the unparalleled freedom and creativity.
The building aspect again.
Absolutely. You can build almost anything you can think of with those blocks. The Lego comparison, it's spot on. Just like Legos, you can build amazing structures. You can really create your own original world.
And that lack of set goals plays into that freedom, right?
Precisely. It's surprising for new players, but there's no real tutorial, no fixed objectives.
But daunting, maybe.
Maybe at first, but it encourages you to explore, experiment, set your own goals. You decide what you want to do in your world.
Right, like a blank canvas. Makes sense. What's pillar number two?
I'd say the thrill of exploration and adventure. Those dynamically generated worlds mean every game is a new place to discover.
Always something new over the next hill.
Exactly. Vast landscapes, different biomes, forests, deserts, mountains, each with unique life. And hidden structures scattered around caves, dungeons, temples, villages.
Finding those must feel great.
Oh, yeah. There's a real excitement in just venturing out, seeing what you find, like being a digital explorer.
A digital Magellan. I like it. Chuckles. Yeah. And even mining becomes an adventure. Digging deep for diamonds. But always the risk of lava or a cave-in. Someone said you get hooked on the thrilling treasure hunt, that risk versus reward is really engaging.
Yeah, that tension sounds addictive. What about playing with others? The social side. Absolutely crucial. Social connection is a huge pillar. Minecraft's multiplayer lets you build, explore, survive together.
Makes sense. Building is more fun with friends.
Totally. Sharing your creations, tackling a dangerous cave with backup. It just multiplies the game's appeal, as one source put it. Sharing worlds, collaborating on big projects, it's huge.
Like a giant group Lego project.
Exactly. And it goes beyond just playing together. There's this massive online community.
YouTube tutorials, servers.
Right. Sharing creations, guides, playing on big public servers, hundreds of millions of active users. The freedom to create unique stuff makes you want to share it, work together. It feeds itself, especially with platforms like YouTube.
So it's not just what you do, but what you show and do together.
Precisely. Minecraft's popularity is deeply rooted in that shared experience.
Okay, that's a big one. What else makes it so popular?
Another key factor is just its accessibility and reach. It's everywhere.
Like what platforms?
PC, smartphones, tablets, PlayStation, Switch, pretty much any gaming device you can think of.
So it's easy to just start playing on whatever you already have.
Exactly. That lowers the barrier way down. Plus, the basic mechanics, building, mining, crafting, they're actually pretty easy to grasp, even if you're not a gamer.
Anyone can jump in.
Pretty much. Someone said its basic elements are fun, addictive, and easily recommendable even to casual players. And compared to big AAA games, it's relatively cheap for the hundreds, maybe thousands of hours you can get out of it. A real bargain.
Definitely sounds like good value, lots of bang for your blocky buck. Now, I know it's used in schools sometimes. Is the educational aspect another pillar?
It absolutely is. That contributes a lot, especially with parents and teachers. The game naturally fosters problem solving, resource management, teamwork, but it goes deeper. That redstone system, it's basically in-game circuits and logic gates. Players can learn about logic, circuits, even basic programming concepts without really trying.
Learning without realizing it.
Kind of. One source said it encourages learning language, coding, logic, and mathematics. It promotes trial and error, flexible thinking. Adventure mode command blocks can even teach coding logic, like if-then statements.
Wow. So how does that learning happen?
It's often driven by the player's own goals. I want to build an automatic farm. Okay, how do I do that? You have to figure out the mechanics, maybe dive into redstone.
So it's motivated by wanting to achieve something cool.
Exactly. Like building an awesome house, Minecraft prioritizes player choice and offers these complex, optional systems. It leads to meaningful incidental learning. The fun of achieving your goal often outweighs the effort of learning.
A powerful mix of fun and learning then. Okay, we've seen the bright side, but what about the bumps in the road? What challenges do players face, especially beginners? Let's talk the beginner's journey.
Right, that very freedom we praised. It can be overwhelming at first. Because there's no tutorial, new players can feel suddenly thrown into a vast world not knowing what to do.
Strapped in.
Yeah. One player said they just stared at the screen, clueless. Those first few days, especially the first night in survival, are critical and can be really tough.
Why the first night?
Because that's when the monsters come out. Someone said Minecraft's biggest hurdle is how to survive the first few days. You start with nothing and have to quickly gather resources, craft tools, build shelter before sunset.
Sounds stressful.
It can be. Guides emphasize the urgency. Apparently, building a proper house in the first 10 minutes is hard for newbies, so digging a hole is often suggested as temporary shelter.
Chuckles. A hole in the ground.
Yeah.
Glamorous.
Functional. And it's not just shelter. Managing hunger and health for the first time is tricky too. You need food early on. Hunger's effect even changes with difficulty.
So getting past that initial confusion and surviving the first night is a big first step. What about later on? Are there advanced complexities?
Oh, absolutely. As players get deeper, things get more intricate. A prime example, redstone engineering.
Ah, the circuits thing.
Exactly. It lets you build complex machines, automate things, doors, farms, sorters, even in-game computers. But mastering it. Steep learning curve.
How steep?
Well, even understanding basic components like a redstone torch can be tricky at first. There are rules about signal strength, how signals travel up or down, circuits burning out. Learning often involves copying and tweaking others' designs.
Sounds like real engineering almost.
Yeah.
Keeps you busy, I bet.
What else is complex later on?
Venturing into the nether dimension, people often call it a hell-like dimension.
A hell-like why?
It's got tougher mobs like ghasts and piglins. The terrain is dangerous seas of lava, steep drops, and your compass and clock don't work there, so it's super easy to get lost.
No compass. Yikes.
Yeah. One account said it's dark, full of lava, spooky monsters, and navigation is also difficult. The scenery looks similar everywhere, making it easy to lose your way. You really need to note your portal coordinates.
Fair tip.
Plus, you need obsidian for the portal, which is needed for advanced crafting. Oh, and water evaporates instantly, and beds. Beds explode if you try to sleep. Gasps. Exploding beds. Okay, the nether sounds genuinely dangerous. What's the final big challenge area?
That would be conquering the end dimension. This is seen as the final area where you fight the main boss, the Ender Dragon.
The big boss fight.
Yep. And it's tough. The dragonflies heals itself using crystals and is surrounded by creepy endermen.
Endermen.
Tall, dark mobs that attack if you look directly at them. After the dragon, you explore these floating islands, trying not to fall into the void.
Floating islands and voids. Sounds perilous.
It is. And there are other mobs like shulkers that shoot projectiles that make you levitate, which often leads to falling damage. The dragon fight itself is hard because it flies, heals, and has Enderman helper.
And after the dragon.
Exploring the outer islands can feel a bit repetitive for some, and traveling between them is risky bad. Ender pearl throws, falling, accidents happen.
So the end game is definitely a step up in difficulty. Beyond these built-in challenges, are there common player complaints, things people just don't like?
Oh, sure. Despite its popularity, it's not perfect for everyone. One common one is repetitive tasks, or grinding.
Like mining forever.
Yeah. For some, gathering huge amounts of resources gets boring, especially after beating the dragon. Some reviews call it a hollow grinding simulator. If you don't like building automated farms, it might feel stale.
I can see that. What else?
Multiplayer issues, specifically griefing. If servers aren't moderated well, players can destroy your builds, steal your stuff.
Oh man, that would be awful.
Totally. Someone said by default, anyone can wreck your stuff or pour lava on it. Very frustrating.
Definitely. Any other common gripes?
Performance issues sometimes. Lag, especially on older hardware or with really huge worlds or lots of mods. Reviews mention lag on low-spec devices or long load times for big worlds.
Technical stuff can ruin the fun.
Yep. Also, some find the combat mechanics a bit clunky. One review mentioned lag, input delay, errors during fights.
Not as smooth as an action game, maybe?
Right. And related to difficulty, some feel the game balance is off. Super hard at the start, then too easy once you get top-tier diamond gear, making it hard to die.
Interesting point. Hard, then easy.
And lastly, the graphics and 3D movement. The blocky style isn't for everyone, and some people actually get motion sickness from the first-person view.
Ah, the blockiness of the spinning screen. Got it.
So, while it's amazing, there are things that can annoy players depending on their preferences.
Makes sense. But you mentioned difficulty settings earlier, right? Players have some control.
They do. You can choose peaceful, easy, normal, hard. That affects mob spawning, damage, hunger, so you can tune the challenge level quite a bit.
So difficulty isn't just one thing.
Not at all. It's got two sides. The initial hurdles for newbies, no tutorial, first night, and then the long-term depth from things like redstone, the nether, the end.
So the challenge evolves.
It does, and overcoming it is often player-driven. You experiment, watch tutorials, use community knowledge, strategize. It's less a fixed obstacle, more an invitation to problem solve, experiment, collaborate.
So the challenges can actually be part of the fun, part of the community.
Absolutely. Look at Redstone. The difficulty created whole communities around learning and innovating. Challenges are often tied to the creative and social parts. It's a journey of learning, adapting, often working together. That turns potential frustration into rewarding experiences.
That's a great perspective.
Okay.
So we've covered what it is, why it's huge, the challenges. Now let's talk about finding your place. Where might you, our listener, fit in this blocky world? What kinds of players really thrive?
Well, the great thing is its diversity means it appeals to play styles and mindsets more than just age or gender.
Okay, so let's break down some player types. What about the builders, the creators?
For the aspiring architects and creators, creative mode is usually heaven. Infinite resources, flight, just pure building freedom, like unlimited digital Legos.
Makes sense.
Though some creators enjoy the challenge of gathering resources and survival for their big builds. Reviews often rave about the joy of building, like one saying, "Literally my world, I can build anything I want here."
Perfect for the imaginative types. What about those who just want to see what's out there? The explorers.
For the brave explorers and adventurers, survival mode is fantastic. Those endless, unique worlds, biomes, caves, structures, always something new to find.
The thrill of discovery.
Exactly. Finding rare stuff or hidden temples like that, quote, the excitement of suddenly finding a pyramid while walking. Or, for guided adventures, adventure mode with its custom maps is great.
Cool. And for players who like strategy and overcoming challenges.
Survival strategists. They'll likely enjoy survival mode on normal or hard, managing resources, defenses, base efficiency. That's their jam. The nether and end add more strategic depth. And for the ultimate test, hardcore mode. Permadeath forces careful planning.
High stakes. Now, the social side is big. Where do social gamers fit?
They thrive in multiplayer, either survival or creative servers. It's great for collaborative building, shared adventures, just hanging out.
Building together, exploring together.
Yep. Like that quote, making something is more fun when you can show others. Dividing tasks on big projects, just chatting. It's a great social platform.
Awesome. What about people looking for something more relaxed? Casual players and families.
Creative mode is perfect for a relaxed, threat-free experience. Or survival mode on peaceful or easy difficulty.
Peaceful.
Yeah, it removes hostile mobs and hunger worries. Great for gentle exploration and building. It's described as beginner-friendly, recommended for those who don't want to fight. And yeah, lots of families play together.
That's really nice. Okay, last couple. What about those seeking serious challenge and mastery?
They can crank survival up to hard, tackle hardcore, or dive deep into redstone engineering.
Pushing the limits.
Exactly. Hardcore raise the survival stakes. Mastering redstone is a deep intellectual challenge, like programming. Conquering the nether and end also takes serious skill and prep.
So something for the hardcore crowd, too. And finally, the educational use.
Right. Depending on the goal, any mode works. Creative for design logic, survival for resource management, adventure for specific educational maps.
Learning through play.
Yep. Fosters creativity, problem solving, planning. Redstone teaches engineering logic. Command blocks can introduce coding. There's even a dedicated Minecraft education edition for schools.
It really is incredibly versatile. So the target audience isn't one group. It's more about mindset.
Exactly. Creator, explorer, strategist, social gamer, casual player, hardcore challenger, learner. Minecraft caters to these playstyles, and they cross demographic lines. Average player age is maybe 24, but kids and older adults play too.
What unites them?
That desire for agency, self-expression, self-directed challenges. Whether building a castle, surviving the first night, or designing a redstone computer, you drive the experience. Its success is catering to those basic human desires: creation, exploration, connection, mastery. It's a platform for different play mindsets.
And it's important to stress again that difficulty we talked about. It's often adjustable, right?
Yeah.
A feature, not a flaw.
Absolutely. We detailed challenging aspects, but creative and peaceful modes remove or reduce those challenges entirely. You can choose to engage with hardcore, the nether, redstone, or not.
Difficulty is optional.
Largely, yes. So when recommending it, stress how customizable it is. If survival feels too hard, that's okay. Maybe creative or peaceful is a better fit. The game adapts from relaxing sandbox to grueling survival test. That's key to its broad appeal. Difficulty is part of its versatility.
Okay, let's try and wrap our heads around all this. This deep dive really shows Minecraft is so much more than just, a simple block game.
It really is. It's this constantly evolving world that just works for so many different ways of playing and thinking.
It's fascinating how that simple premise blocks has such deep and varied appeal, isn't it?
It really speaks to something fundamental, I think, those basic human desires we talked about.
Absolutely. So whether you're itching to build that dream castle, or explore mysterious landscapes, test your survival skills, connect with friends online, or maybe even sneak in some learning.
Tuckles. Sneak in some learning, yeah.
Minecraft seems to have a corner of its blocky world just for you.
Which raises that important question for you listening right now. With all these possibilities, what kind of Minecraft player might you be?
That's the big question, isn't it? So what stands out to you after hearing all this? What part sparks your curiosity?
Yeah, what grabbed you?
Maybe you're already picturing your first, wooden shack. Or maybe the challenge of surviving that first night sounds intriguing.
Or maybe you just want to fly around and build something crazy in creative mode.
Totally. Whatever it is, we hope this deep dive is giving you a solid foundation, a good starting point to explore further if you want to. Thanks for diving deep with us today.
Yeah, happy crafting and exploring, everyone.